Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sulali and this is the last lesson for this year. It is going to be about the zoonosis and public health matter, and it is after that we have seen together different organs and different systems with their physiology. So we are going to take as an example of diseases, zoonosis and infectious diseases. Okay, let's start. We start by having some definitions. So zoonosis, it is the plural of the word zoonosis with I, okay, instead of E here. And those are infections and infectious diseases that are naturally transmitted from vertebrate animals to humans and vice versa. So those are infections that the causal agent is going to be transmitted between animals and human beings, okay? And it means that it can affect both of them. They are caused by pathogenic or pathological agents able to infect both animals and human being tissues so that they may be or become ill or not. It means that after those germs are going to infect animals or human beings, those may be ill, okay, so they are going to suffer from some clinical signs or not. It may remain asymptomatic, okay, without any clinical sign. So the causal agent or pathogenic agent are going to invade, in French say envahir, and destroy host tissue. So they're going to invade and destroy host tissue. Ils vont envahir et détruire les tissus de l'hôte. Some of them are mortal. So some zoonoses, some infectious diseases are mortal or fatal. Okay, this is a synonym to mortal. I will write it next to. It is fatal. Zoonosis can be asymptomatic, as I was saying, means that you have not a clinical expression, no signs after the infection. Okay, it remains subclinical or clinical or silent as an infection. Okay, it means that some of them are not visible. Okay, we cannot notice them because the host is not suffering from any clinical sign, and the host, especially animals, is just considered like being a reservoir that becomes contagious. Okay, means that it is going to be a source of infection. Sorry, I have to omit this before I move. And then I move to the other slide, the next slide. We carry on speaking about zoonosis and infectious diseases in general. So zoonotic germs, being bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, protozoa, etc., are going to infect animals or humans. Okay, and then after infection, animals, let's say the host in general, the species is going to be shedding this zoonotic germs. Shedding means, in French, c'est l'excrétion de germes. Means that those hosts are going to be contagious, and therefore transmission is possible from species or hosts, being animals or human beings that had been infected. So transmission is possible after infection, okay, and shedding of the bacteria. And after infection, you have two possibilities. Whether the host remains asymptomatic and it is called reservoir, or the host is suffering from disease and showing some symptoms like coughing, sneezing, bleeding, vomiting, fever, and abortion. Let's see them in French. So coughing, c'est la toux. Ok, tousser ou la toux. Sneezing, c'est l'éternuement. Bleeding, c'est donc le saignement. From blood. Ok. Vomiting, c'est les vomissements. Fever, it's obvious, c'est la fièvre. And abortion as an example also of symptoms, which is l'avortement. Okay, it is the death of fetus. And it can be even fatal, okay? And the host may die, okay? So death is possible, is one of the symptoms of some diseases. We carry on our, I go on the definitions. So we talked about reservoir. A reservoir is one or more epidemiologically connected populations, okay, or environment. It may be one population means a species in general of animals or insects or any other species of animal kingdom, or environment in which the pathogen can be permanently maintained, where the pathogen is always present and available and alive, okay, and for which, or sorry, from which infection is transmitted. The transmission is possible to define target population. So it is a creator, animal species or environment that can hold pathogen or pathogens permanently, means that the pathogen is always present in it, and the transmission is possible too. It can happen. Okay. Epidemic is a widespread occurrence of an infectious disease in a community at a particular time. And we can talk about coronavirus as an example. It is just that it is more than epidemic, it is a pandemic, okay? But here the definition is the same. It is just that a pandemic is larger. So an outbreak, epidemic is an outbreak of disease such that for a limited period of time, a significantly greater number of persons in a community or region. For coronavirus, it was all over the world, and those persons are suffering from it, then it is normally, okay? So it is when it is greater and in a limited period of time, we speak about outbreak or epidemic, okay? I repeat once again for the definition to make it simpler. An outbreak of disease or epidemic, it is to get in a limited period of time a large number, great number of persons who are suffering. It is said persons here, it can be also animals, okay? Let's speak about animals because we are veterinarians. So we have a great number of animals which are suffering from a disease, okay, in quite surprising way. We carry on with the definitions. So emergent zoonosis, it is a zoonosis path that we've discovered recently. Let's read the definition. It is a zoonosis that is newly recognized or newly involved or that had or has occurred previously but shows an increase in incidence or expansion in geographical range. We can speak also here of coronavirus because even those this virus has occurred before, okay, formally previously, but it has never occurred in such a terrible way, in such wide expansion and that great number of incidence. Okay, so emerging zoonotic diseases have potentially serious human health and economic impacts. The last 30 years have seen a rise in emerging infectious diseases in humans, and of humans, and of these, over 70% are zoonotic. So, in general, when we talk about emerging zoonoses, those are or emerging infectious diseases for human beings. In general, those are zoonotic diseases. Okay, that are involved from animal reservoirs. Now, we are going to see the way in which infection is transmitted. So it can be how it can be contaminated. So first it can be orally. Okay, you have the oral way, by accidental ingestion of infected food. It may be by respiratory way, by breathing contaminated air, and we speak about inhalation like for coronavirus. Okay, it may be also cutaneous by touching. Okay, to be in contact with a germ. It is going to be on your skin, and it can penetrate into the organism. And also it is possible to get contaminated by insects and animals bites. For example, like we've seen in our first class together, vector-borne diseases, in which the germs or the pathogen germs are carried by insects. Okay, and you have also the case of carnivorous bites. Okay, if you are bitten by a dog, for example, and if the dog contains the virus of rabies, it is going to inject the virus in your organism, and it can carry rabies to you. Okay,